I don't know about you, but I like a little unity in my life. Welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. And just yesterday I was talking about Ubuntu Unity, sending in a proposal to become an official Ubuntu flavor. And lo and behold, it was accepted. Apparently, earlier this week they made their submission. You would think with kind of a large corporation or a company of any size that it'd have to maybe go through committee, do a little, research here and there, but apparently they had all their ducks in a row and Canonical was fast to work on this. So, good for you, Ubuntu Unity. I'm really pleased with it. As a matter of fact, I'm using it right now to do this show. The author of this article says it's hard to believe that Ubuntu Unity will be recognized one day as an official flavor, considering Canonical's past with the Unity 7 desktop environment. But today the miracle happened, and Canonical will recognize it as an official Ubuntu flavor, starting with the upcoming Ubuntu 22.10 Kinetic Kudu, released in late October of 2022. Furthermore, Ubuntu Unity 22.10 Beta, the beta, will be the first release as an officially recognized flavor, due out later this month on September 29th. Later this month, man, it's hard to believe that it's already September. Finally, the Ubuntu Unity 22.10 Kinetic Kudu release is expected to see the light of day as an official Ubuntu flavor on October 21st of 2022. Time's just creeping up on us. As mentioned before, Rudra Saraswat, and I really hope I pronounced your name right, and I'm sorry if I didn't, also maintains the Unity 7 desktop environment and recently released Unity 7.6 as the first major release in the past 6 years. In addition, he expressed interest in a collaboration with UbiPorts to maintain a Lomiri Unity 8 variant of Ubuntu Unity with the release of Ubuntu 24.04, so about a year and a half away. This is great news. I spun this up on a thumb drive yesterday, installed it. It recognized my NVIDIA card right away. I did have to do a little bit of tweaking with it, and I did have to save the output. I showed you once before how to do this, where you just copy from the NVIDIA driver. Let's just go ahead and launch that thing right now. Okay, so when you launch this, you make all the changes that you want right here, and then you want to go to advanced, right? So you can make your changes. For example, this works best with my system, right? Force composition pipeline. The other thing is that with the other monitors, you can set them up as well. Now, when you go to save on the xorg.conf file, it doesn't, even when you put your password in. But if you show preview and expand this window, you can just copy this and paste it into that file. If you don't have a file, just go and create a file at the etc/x11/ directory and create the xorg.conf file. Paste this in there, save, reboot, and every time you start, your NVIDIA profiles are automatically set, which is really, really sweet. Really, really love it. So, very, very happy. It's a very, very day. Another cool thing that's just come out is OBS Studio 28.0. This this isn't going to affect me very much, but I do know that there's a lot of people out there that have been looking for this 10-bit color support, HDR video encoding, and they're porting everything over to the Qt6 version. Highlights of OBS Studio 28.0 include 10-bit color support, HDR video encoding, a new color format and color space settings to let you tweak those options in the advanced settings, as well as a port to the latest Qt6 application framework for a more modern interface with a new default theme called Yami? I don't know. Other exciting changes include support for sending chat messages to YouTube from within OBS. That's going to be great for streamers. I'm not a streamer, but I can appreciate where this can be a very, very beneficial new tool. OBS Studio 28.0 Also brings numerous improvements like EGL rendering on Linux for a better experience, support for the H.264 format in the Linux V4L2 video capture device source, multi-view layouts without preview and program, the ability to relatively center multiple sources, the ability to reset the entire interface, a new option for low latency audio buffering, thank you, and support for custom FFmpeg options in media sources. Due to the port to the latest Qt6 framework, OBS Studio is no longer supported on 32-bit operating systems, nor on Ubuntu 18.0 for long-term support LTS Bionic Beaver systems, which do not offer Qt6 packages. In addition, HDR preview does not work on Linux systems at this time, and several inputs and encoders still need to be updated. So, if you're on Windows, and I'm going to take a wild guess and say even Mac, those options are going to be available to you. I'm sure Linux is going to be there. As to when, I don't know. But for streamers and for YouTubers in general, this is going to be a great update. And as soon as it reaches my PPA repository, I'll definitely download it and play with it. I have this Logitech C920 camera, so best I can do is 1080p at 30 frames per second. There's not going to be any 4K coming out of this camera. But for those people who do that type of rig, then this is going to be a great upgrade for you. Speaking of YouTubers, I just kind of want to show you something that I think is very interesting. And I know that there's one or two of you that actually watch these videos all the way through. Now, how do I know that? It's because I look at analytics. But man, take a look at the low views and comments that I have on my channel. The one of the highest rated ones was Pop OS KDE with 149 views, but again, only one comment. I've made references before that I don't like to beg for viewership or whatever, but I am a little bit curious about something, and that curiosity is, if I'm not asking and begging you for the comments, how do you know that I'm actually creating a video every day? And I don't know if it's really the algorithm that's causing this, or if this is just a lack of interest on my show, to be quite honest with you. So I don't know. We'll just wait and see. I'm thinking about putting in one of those little graphics, click, comment, crap. But I'm not going to do anything that's going to be distracting from the show. Like you see these things fly out, ding, ding, ding. I'm not going to do that. But I might put something in there about, click, whatever. I guess what I'm trying to say is, am I spinning my wheels by doing this show, or do you think there's actually people out there who would be interested in seeing, beginners or just people interested in getting into Linux as I drop stuff on my desktop? Sounds so professional, doesn't it? Curious. I'm just curious. What do you guys think about all that? So, let's end this one on our words of wisdom, shall we? Don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to Amazon, eBay, use MS Edge shopping all buzzed up thinking you're going to buy the latest, greatest, and coolest stuff, because you're probably not. In the meantime, bottoms up. Later, dudes.